What is going on, Colts Nation, and welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Your guys, Cody and Derek, back with another one, guys. Yo, guys, it is bold prediction time. It is time for us to give you our two bold predictions. Derek's got a bold prediction. I've got a bold prediction for the Indianapolis Colts in 2025. So we are going to do that in just 1 second. But before we do that, just want to let you guys know that this episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. Give online therapy a try at betterhelp.com/juice and get on your way to being your best self. All right, Derek, I'll let you go, man, because I know I love your bold prediction. I'll say that. But I think people are going to love both our bold predictions personally. And I think if this happens, a lot of good things are going to come our way here for the Colts in 2025. But go ahead, man. Take it away. What is your bold prediction for the 2025 season?
All right. My bold prediction. Tyler Warren will have double-digit touchdowns as a rookie in 2025. That's right, guys. 10-plus TDs coming from the rookie tight end. I mean, Cody, the last time that the Indianapolis Colts had a tight end that ended up scoring over 10 touchdowns was, in fact, Eric Ebron. I think it was the year 2016, if I'm not mistaken. It could have been a few years after that. I'm not sure. But Ebron was the last one to do it. And honestly, he's probably been one of the only ones to do it for quite some time for the Indianapolis Colts. And I'm not sitting here and suggesting that he's going to get all receiving touchdowns. The reason why I feel that this is a very accomplishable bold take for Tyler Warren is, again, the dexterity and the adaptability that he has within a offensive scheme that allows someone like a Tyler Warren to be able to flourish and score in places where a lot of people didn't think was possible. Of course, when you think of tight ends, you think of receiving touchdowns, which obviously I feel like he will get plenty of those this year, regardless of which quarterback it is. But I also think about the times that you might be in the red zone. There might be a few opportunities where Tyler Warren will be receiving the football near the goal line and being told to run in for a touchdown. So I could very well see a couple rushing touchdowns on the board for Tyler Warren this year. And Cody, do not think that there is not a potential for a passing touchdown in Tyler Warren's future this year. Again, Shane Steichen said it. They have thought of that already. Tyler Warren was a quarterback before he became a tight end. And, he did it even at Penn State. There were a couple times where he was asked to throw the football in certain packages. So I could very well see one of those happening. The creativity comes out and somebody's going to slip and Tyler Warren's going to be able to get an easy one in there. Again, all facets of the game Tyler Warren can do. We've seen him do it in college. If you can do that in college and be multifaceted and have no limit to what you can do in an offense, Shane Steichen's one of the more creative guys that does it. I could very well see that being the case to where he has multiple ways to score touchdowns. He definitely can get double digits.
I love that bold prediction, man. I love it because you're right. Tyler Warren can do everything. Like we saw at Penn State, like all the ways that he was utilized by them. I mean, he was their entire offense last year. I mean, whether it was running the ball, catching the ball, throwing the ball, he was doing it all. So I definitely love that, man. And, especially for how bad the tight end room was a year ago. I mean, can you imagine like a bigger upgrade from what you had last year at the tight end room to Tyler Warren, especially if he has double-digit touchdowns? I mean, that would just be insane right there if you're able to get a tight end like that, to really take the top off of defense, really just do everything. And like you said, especially in the red zone, like when's the last time the Colts have had a true elite red zone option at tight end?
Yeah.
It's been a while. It's been a while since they've had somebody like that. So I definitely would be very excited if Tyler Warren can do that. And I definitely don't think, with all the ways the Colts can and probably will utilize him, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility at all. I really don't. So I absolutely love that, dude. Absolutely love that. That's great.
All right, man. Well, now let's go to your bold prediction, man. You liked mine. Let's see if Colts Nation will like yours. What's up?
All right. So here we go. I am excited for this one because I love this pick when it happened back in 2024. I know a lot of people didn't really love it at the time, but I loved it because I certainly felt like edge was a huge position of need that we weren't talking about. And Latu is a guy that I feel like when you look at the pure stats, you could be like, oh man, it was a disappointing season for Latu. He didn't really do what we hoped he would do. And I think, yeah, certainly he hit some sort of rookie wall at some point. But I also think, Derek, there was a point of, number one, the defensive scheme was terrible last year. Gus Bradley was terrible. I mean, who in their right mind, like what defensive player really can thrive in a system like that, especially if you're trying to, measure in sacks when the quarterback 1, 2, 3-step drop and throw it. If they have all that cushion, like no wonder the Colts didn't get as many sacks as they did, in 2023 and 2020 in the past like that. So I look at this and I say, okay, you have Lou Anarumo, who's going to change things up. Latu last year, he played in, I think it was, let me pull it up here. Yeah, so he played in only 53% of the snaps last year for the Colts. And, one player who, played a significant role last year, Dayo Adangbo, who played almost 65% of the snaps, Derek, at defensive end, he's no longer on the roster. So it's a great, tremendous opening here for Latu to command a lot more snaps this year and a lot more opportunities to get after the quarterback. So my bold prediction, all that to say, my bold prediction is Latu is going to have double-digit sacks this year, but I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to say he leads the Indianapolis Colts in sacks in 2025 because of all those factors I just talked about. From he didn't play a ton of snaps, he had a lot of pressures. I think when he did play, he was pretty effective at getting after the quarterback. It's just unfortunate because the scheme was poor. He just didn't play as much as some of these other defensive linemen.
Yeah, I would certainly hope that if he gets double-digit sacks, that he will lead the team in sacks this year. I certainly would hope so. For the boldness of it, I mean, people might say, like, oh, that's really not that bold. He should be leading the team in that. But people have to remember, DeForest Buckner is still on this team. He was second last year in total number of sacks. And Kwity Paye actually led the team last year with 8 sacks last year. So again, the whole defensive line just wasn't good last year at getting after the quarterback. We were very bad at getting consistent pressure on the quarterback. And, there are some guys that still can get around 8 to 10 sacks a season. So
Yeah.
it's not out of the realm of possibility that somebody can't get more sacks than Latu, which again, like I said, that's the boldness of it. But I do believe that he can do it because, like you said, there's a bunch of different reasons for that. The ultimate question is Latu going to become a more, let's just say, like more every down player? That's going to be the thing. Now, the only problem is that's going to be very hard because Ebukam's going to be coming back. You have Kwity Paye on his 5th-year option. JT Tuimoloau just got drafted. So a lot of snaps to be shared this year. Now that could bowl very well for Latu, and the fact that not a lot of guys are going to be hogging the majority of the snaps. Ebukam and Latu will likely be your pass rush guys. Kwity Paye and JT Tuimoloau are most likely going to be your first down guys or your third and short kind of guys. That might be something that we need to see more of. But yeah, I mean, it very well could be that Latu leads the Indianapolis Colts in sacks this year. Ultimate thing for me is how does DeForest Buckner do this year? Obviously only played in 12 games last year, so that number was down this year from 7 sacks. So hopefully we see him have a resurgence. But yeah, I like him, man. I hope Latu is the one that leads us.
I just pulled up the stat here just a little bit because it's quite interesting, Derek. So when I was looking at the snaps for Latu versus some of these other guys, right? So for example, okay, so you said Kwity Paye, right? He led the Colts in sacks last year. So I looked a little bit into Kwity Paye and kind of how much he played, right? When you look at him overall, okay, he played in 666 snaps, so that's like 57%, almost 58% of the snaps. Latu played in 618. But here's the interesting thing about Latu, Derek, is he actually led the Colts despite the fact that he played in less snaps. He led them in pressures. He led them in quarterback hits. He led them in hurries. Like, he led them in all the things that matter outside the sacks. So he was very effective, even though he didn't see the field as much as some of these other guys. He led the entire team in those categories, right? So I think with an extended role, you're going to see Latu really have a breakout season here, because if he can do all that on, not even 55% of the snaps, what could he do with, even Kwity Paye's numbers? What could he do with 50, 60 more snaps, honestly? So that is intriguing to me, that despite the fact that, when you look at the snap counts for the Colts defensive linemen, Latu's not near the top. But when you break it down a little bit, I was just kind of looking here at some of the snaps from last year for the edge outside of those two. Dio Dangbo, for example, he had over 700 snaps, almost 750. So it's like, okay, you give him more snaps, what could he do with it? That is the most intriguing thing for me, because Dio Dangbo, frankly, Derek, he wasn't that great from a pressure standpoint last year in comparison to all the snaps that he had. Like, he only had 19 pressures, whereas you talk about Latu, so much less snaps. He had more pressures, more quarterback hits, more everything outside of sacks. So he can get home a couple more times and continue what he's doing from a pressure standpoint and even get better in that department. I think we're looking at a guy that potentially could be a double-digit sack breakout type of guy.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Awesome. Well, guys, that will do it for this one. Again, shout out to BetterHelp, guys. Be sure to check them out. We'll have a link in our description. If you haven't already, be sure to go check out all that. They do awesome work over there. But that'll do it for this one, guys. Let us know your thoughts on our two bold predictions here for the Indianapolis Colts in 2025. And do us a favor and drop your bold predictions in the comments down below. But guys, that'll do it for this one. Thank you so much for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. And as always, guys, go Colts.